Jos Verstappen has finally had it with Red Bull team principal Christian Horner. He criticised Horner as childish for obstructing his participation in last weekend's Legends Parade. And even worse, he accused Horner of putting his life in danger by ruining his car's brakes. Plenty of accusations thrown around, but are any of them true? Let's find out, shall we? The event, a fixture at the Austrian Grand Prix, featured historic cars including the RB8 from 2012, which Jos Verstappen intended to drive. The RB8, driven by Sebastian Vettel on his way to a third consecutive title after a season-long duel with Fernando Alonso, was the highlight of the event. But former Dutch F1 driver Jos Verstappen alleges that Christian Horner blocked his participation in the parade, a claim Red Bull has not addressed. Consequently, Verstappen Sr. has opted out of the Red Bull Legends Parade and criticised the team boss for allegedly planning to prevent all filming at the event. While talking about his boycott, he said, "In recent days I have heard from several sides that Christian Horner has done everything to not let me drive, and otherwise to make sure that nothing would be filmed. Then I think, say it in my face. This way it doesn't have to be for me. I find it very disappointing. How childish can you be? There was going to be filming, for example, also with a drone, but Horner didn't want me to be filmed. I'm completely finished with Horner. It's like a kindergarten here. I would have been allowed to ride in the end, but I backed out. I find this so childish of Horner, but I think it says something about him. I think it's a shame. I would have really liked it too. I also prepared for it. I have all the stuff with me. But when I heard how everything went and how it was thwarted, then I was like, if there is so much opposition from someone within our team, I don't have to do it." Jos Verstappen also revealed that he received a very serious warning concerning Christian Horner. "But from what I heard is that he did everything he could to stop me," he said, "and that I should just watch out if that thing should break as well. I think that's pretty serious, to put it that way." Jos Verstappen's rift with Horner began earlier this year during an investigation into allegations of inappropriate behaviour against the Red Bull boss, which he was subsequently cleared of. Following this recent controversy, Verstappen is unsure how Horner can foster a positive atmosphere within the Red Bull team. He said, "For someone who leads the team and wants to create peace within the team, I do find this very punishing. How should I deal with that when you hear this? That doesn't work a positive advantage for him." Max Verstappen's father has emphasised that he is not involved with this. But Jos hinted that if things begin to deteriorate from within the team, he will do everything in his power to make sure that his son is the first to jump ship. "He was sitting there when that was told and he shook his head," Jos said of Max. "Then I just know it's okay. It's a little sad, but on the other hand, we'll forget about it, move on, and it's about what's best for Max. I hope they build a car that wins for a long time. Then Max will be fine and I will do everything so he stays fine and is fine. But as soon as that is no longer the case, then I know what will happen." In Friday's Formula 1 Austrian Grand Prix press conferences, Christian Horner was livid amid contentious statements from Jos Verstappen. Horner emphatically denied allegations that he prevented Verstappen from participating in the Legends Parade. He said, "Look, I've been made aware. The Legends Parade is something that is organised by the circuit. There was no veto from my side or anything like that, and I'm sure the Legends will be in action later." With tensions escalating between Horner and Verstappen Sr., some may speculate that it could impact Red Bull's relationship with its star driver, but the team principal insists that the bond between the driver and the team remains strong. "The relationship with Max has always been very good. Very strong," Horner said. "He's a key part of our team. He's our driver. He's the one that is important, obviously, to have a strong relationship with. I've never had an issue with any of our drivers' fathers in the past. Whatever Jos's issues are, I've really got nothing to comment on. My interest is in the performance of the team. We have a wonderful team." Horner further indicated that he was not particularly concerned about the outcome of his interactions with the Verstappen Sr., emphasising that what mattered most to him was the cohesion and effectiveness of the team as a whole. "We've got great drivers in Max. We've got the best driver in the world. He came to our team as a young man and he's grown and grown in stature. He's grown as a driver and as a human being. And I think the way he conducts himself, the way he works with the team is outstanding. And that is my key interest. It's about the performance of the team. It's about how the team works. And of course, we've enjoyed tremendous success. Despite the distractions of this year, we've still won 70% of the races, including 2 sprint races and 7 poles. We lead both world championships. So yeah, you can't control everything in life. I can't control relationships with drivers' fathers. But my focus is on the performance of our drivers, the performance of our team. That's where it will all remain." Jos appears determined to disrupt relationships within the Red Bull setup, especially between his son and Horner. but the latter remains focused on not letting rifts or distractions take centre stage. "I don't think it's really helpful to continue talking on the topic of Jos," he said. "I think our focus is very much on Max. He's our driver, he's who we have a contract with, and he's who we're focused on trying to win this Grand Prix with." Christian Horner also responded to criticisms from Mercedes, asserting his stance against what he viewed as slights aimed at him and the team. Toto Wolff has openly expressed admiration for Red Bull's reigning world champion, but with Max Verstappen confirming his stay for 2025, Horner also took a dig at Mercedes. "You have to question what are the motives. Obviously behind that, the driver that's created all the movement in the market, had all the information about the engines and 2026 regulations and so on, chose to leave and left the vacancy at Mercedes, which is why there has now been a little bit of speculation as to who will fill that seat. But it won't be Max Verstappen. Max finds himself caught in the middle, balancing his championship aspirations with internal conflicts between his father and his boss. Reflecting on the incident, Verstappen noted that it was a situation that could have been avoided. After his sprint victory, he said, "It's not nice. I think not for myself, not for my dad, not for Christian or for the team. Because you don't want these things to happen. My dad has been quite clear about, the reason behind it, and of course I can understand his opinion on that because at the end of the day he gets asked to drive the car, finds out that he's not wanted to drive the car. Well, my dad actually doesn't care about driving the car. But he got asked and said, please, do it for the fans, Dutch fans, blah blah, Red Bull, we have a great relationship with home track. So I understand. At the other end, I'm here, of course, to focus on the performance side of things. So I want a good relationship with everyone, but of course this scenario could have been avoided." Red Bull advisor Dr. Marco has provided a glimpse into the dynamics behind the strained relationship between Christian Horner and Jos Verstappen. Max and Marco share the sentiment that the situation could have been avoided, with Marco describing it as unnecessary and, in Jos's words, childish. He told Viaplay, "I would describe it as we call it in German, kindergarten, unnecessary. And I am a little bit unhappy that it came to the public. First of all, Jos is not an easy character, and Christian doesn't understand or accept that Jos is Jos. He won't change him, and he does what he believes is right. If it's right or not, it's another question." Martin Brundle has hinted that the disagreement between Christian Horner and Jos Verstappen might have affected Max Verstappen's performance on track at the Austrian Grand Prix. While criticising Max's racing tactics last Sunday, one that ended in Lando Norris's early retirement, Brundle wrote, "This race was very much Max 1.0, with his default driving tactics and denials resurfacing. I'm making no excuses for him, but I do wonder if the ridiculous spat between his father Jos and team boss Christian Horner has finally surfaced on track for him. And to hear the Red Bull team on the radio after the race telling him it was all Norris's fault was a difficult listen. It damages their credibility all round." So, is Max Verstappen's on-track driving being negatively affected by the off-track dispute between his father and his boss? Tell us what you think in the comments section down below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching.